Hi and hello, and welcome to episode 67 of Going Over. I, of course, am Fred Slow. Alongside me is Saleh Taylor, my co-host, my friend, and my arch nemesis. You and I faced off against each other in the main event of Springtime Ring Time. We did that last Thursday. It was a ton of fun. We will talk about that at length. We'll talk about my trip to Dothan, Alabama to help with NWA Hard Times 5. Hard Times.
Hot time, hot
Hard
times.
Times. We'll talk about that at length. Ton going on in the world of professional wrestling, and Saleh Taylor is now a main eventer. Saleh, welcome to the program.
Man, it feels good to be right, and it feels good to actually be anywhere and everywhere. We're best friends, we're best nemesis, but you bring out the best and worst in me,
Yeah,
and I you.
I like you a lot for not for good reasons, though. It was an absolute banger of one for NWA New Mexico at Springtime Ring Time. That was way back on March the 20 something second. That was on Thursday. We were bumped last week for NCAA basketball. Heads up, I am killing it in the bracket game. I am killing it on Prize Picks, promo code KNML. Hang out with your boys, download the app, get the code $50 on your first $5 lineup. I am dialed in, brother. Like, college basketball is for me. There are no more upsets in college basketball. Like, I have college basketball figured out.
That is actually quite a thing because the last person I heard say got college basketball figured out, they lost out in the
Yeah,
first.
they broke.
Yeah, they broke out. But I believe in your belief, and I'm with it. I support you.
I'm looking right here. Yep, big winner in baseball today as well. I am him. I am him.
And now, when you're putting your brackets together,
Mm-hmm.
there's got to be a point where, like, you got to leave some room for chaos and or luck.
Why are you saying this?
Like I'm just saying, man. Like, has there ever been a perfect March
No,
Madness?
not in men's, and there could be soon in
Hmm.
women's.
Ooh,
Yeah, because with the way NIL is now, and this is you can catch this on my weekly program that we do or my daily program with Van Nunley, 2 Men On. There is not going to be upsets anymore. There's not going to be upsets ever again to a degree where you couldn't put in enough options.
mhm.
So what I mean by that is this, right? I mean the disparity in NIL having teams, fund having teams, big 5 power conference teams, and mid majors teams. It's too far. Like it's the difference in, no exaggeration, hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, and they're just no longer will those teams be able to do it. So I'm going to tell you this: in the women's bracket, a perfect bracket will occur, which
Hmm.
is like crazy to think about. I think I could put in 100 brackets next year. One of them would be it. That's a 1% chance. That's
Yes.
incredibly high. All right, I'm looking at my brackets right now. I'm currently sitting first and first in both of my pick'ems.
So you made a whole tournament and you made a whole thing just by yourself. That's why you're first.
That is correct.
I'm with it. You can never lose.
I'm in 2 different leagues. I put the same bracket in both. And yeah, I am currently in a position to where it looks as if I will be the champion of the world in both. That is correct.
But yes, that's quite. Did you do similar brackets in both, or did you kind of play around with what could?
No, they're both the exact same. So I'll give you an example. So the right side of the bracket, the East and the what else is over here? The East and the Midwest. So in the East, I missed one pick the whole time. And in the Midwest, I missed one pick the whole time. I wasn't as good in the West. I missed 1, 2, 3. I wasn't as good in the South. I wasn't very good in the South. I missed 1, 2, 3, 4. So and Auburn is going to have to win here.
Yeah.
For it to be my thing. And they're currently at time of recording in a position to do that. So I'm telling you, I'm that guy. My percentile is 98.7%. Like,
That's really high.
I'm so good at sports and I hate it.
The burden of being good, the burden of being you. Oh no. Oh dear.
It's It's brutal. Like, it's not fair, you know? Like, yeah, have you ever been really good at something you just don't care about?
Yeah,
That's me in sports.
man. Damn.
I hate it.
Heavy's the head, man. Where's the crown? Apparently.
You went for the crown at Springtime Ring Time against Hobo Hank. You were not victorious. You were not triumphant. You are not the new Duke City Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Champion of the world.
I was not focused.
You laid
I had it. It was
you laid a full center ring, literally covered in the clown makeup, which matched the behavior that you had that night, and the crowd loved it.
that clown. That clown. I it was right there. It was right there.
Were you?
Yeah, man. I you know how the kids say como ceviche. It's triggered, man. That clown is triggering to me, man. Man, that clown. Oh, that clown. It looks like I still have some side quests to deal with.
Oh, that's how you feel?
Before I head up to, finishing up the next main level, because that clown.
After the main, you and Hobo Hank, you're losing. Mr. Happy, who ends up ringside, I had no idea about this, makes his way into the ring, literally paints your face in clown makeup.
I don't remember it, therefore it didn't happen, man.
There's video, 4K.
There's video editors, AI, it's a thing. Yeah, man.
And the conversation about this pro wrestling thing is we're one show away from our 2-year anniversary, right? One show away.
Wow.
From Duke City Championship Wrestling, 2 years, NWA New Mexico. And I own that. Like, if you support that, friends of the show, like, I own that. Like, we have to be real transparent here. There are literally laws about it. The thing that's so incredible about it is it was a Thursday night. Like, the thing that's so incredible about it is it's having this entertainment, which is all this is. This is not a sport. I need to be incredibly transparent on this. Pro wrestling is theater. Pro wrestling is entertainment. Pro wrestling is storytelling. Pro wrestling is all things that captivate the mind, including what you don't see. And on a Thursday night, hundreds of people at the Historic Gallery Theater, and they're booing your brains out.
I'm at, you're talking about you're so good at something you just don't care.
That's you.
Yeah. I don't care about the crowd. There's some key folks in there that I wouldn't mind a little finger guns with, but nah, man. I'm on my journey.
That's what it is.
I'm on my walkabout. I'm on my thing. I'm on my story. I want that clown. That thunder, man. It's just.
Yeah, that's your vision. I say hey, call Journey Fatu. See if we'll come out and have your back. That's what you need.
Like, get some family back in here.
That's what I'm telling you. I see the dude you're bringing in, Sidney Porter. I see the dude you're bringing in. You're bringing in Royal Wood. You're bringing in literal jokesters. Like, no, you don't have a chance.
I'm bringing in people that can inspire the crowd to react. I'm bringing in people that knows how to work. I'm bringing in people that can do the job. I just got distracted for a second.
You are a lot of stories for people now. Like, I think most of them know your name. I think most of them know that you're For Sale, Saleh Taylor, the Polynesian Prince. I think they know that. The Samoan Nightmare. I think they know that.
Yes.
But when they tell the story, they don't give you your name. They say, that dude just laid there. They painted his face up. Hobo Hank hit it on him.
AI, man.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you. Like, and there's kids in the audience that you are their first pro wrestling memory. I see them. It's incredible. They
Ooh,
hate you. They've never met you. It's
hey,
awesome.
that didn't mean to blow into the mic like that. But honestly, what you just said, that hit me, man.
Yeah, it's wild, huh?
That part of a story that people go home talking to their families about. And then this fat Samoan dude,
Mm-hmm. This big boy, I don't know how he moved around like that.
I think he's Mexican,
Yeah, this big boy.
fought the homeless guy. Who's the champ? He fought a hobo.
I had to sit down with Visit Albuquerque last week, Visit ABQ. And I'm like, hey, this is the product. We're talking about how many people we bring to town. We're going through the thing. I go, and this is our hero, Hobo Hank. And they all go, and I go, no, it's cool. Like, I go, this isn't a Tim Keller style of hobo. This is like a ride the rails one. This is like it's like a giddy one.
With the stick in the bag, yeah.
Yeah, I tried to do that with him. Did I walk you through this?
No, man. Hit me.
Were you at the show when I had him come out with the shopping cart from Sprouts? Were you? Yeah, you were there.
Yeah.
I go, all right, hear me out. The different versions of like Vagabond, the different versions of, and I was talking like the checkered or the polka dot,
Yeah.
tablecloth tied around your belongings on a stick, like the whole thing. I was like, this will be good. I was like, this is smart. He goes, man, I just carry the duffel. Okay. Hobo Hank was telling me a story one time, a bindle from the live chat.
There you go.
Bindle, that's what it's called.
Mind your business, Joel.
Yeah. It's like a, what's that called whenever indigenous people would bundle their kids up? Like
I called it go to church, man.
when they wrap them up really tight, what's that called?
Oh, the baby burrito thing?
Yeah, what's the baby burrito thing called? That's what it is, but of their possessions.
Yeah.
That's called something. So Hobo Hank was telling me with the Hobo Hank character, which has existed for 25 years, So the Hobo Hank character, when it first started, he would get people from the crowd that would give him like food. Like he would go out there and they'd give him like pizza or a hot dog or whatever. You know what I mean? And then he said it kind of ran with that for a while. And then, pro wrestling is you step away for a little bit. Swaddling. That's what it's called.
Swaddling.
Friend of the show, Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. He said, so for years, he'd go out in the crowd doing the Mr. Bojangles bit and, nitty gritty dirt man and all that. And he would get hot dogs and pizza and popcorn or whatever. Right. And then he said, some point in, people stopped giving him food and they started giving him money. So he would go out there and they would give him a couple bucks or change out of their pocket or whatever. And he said he would, he'd get a $5 from someone and, or a hand pocket full of change to go wrestle. You know what I mean? So Hobo Hank would go out there and wrestle. And now Hobo Hank gets booze from our audience. And he was like, so whenever we started Duke City Championship Wrestling, he goes out there, he runs through the crowd, which I ran through it with him last time. It was pretty incredible. He runs through the crowd and he gets liquor.
Straight up, just giving him whiskey. Oh, man.
From the live chat, friend of the broadcast, Chris, says Hobo Hank is not his champion. That is very confusing because he is the champion. That's wildly confusing.
But not Chris's. I was wronged, man. All I remember was not remembering how it ended.
Yeah.
Therefore, it didn't happen.
Friend of the show, Joel, says he Googled what is it called when people swaddle a baby. The word was swaddle. That's what I needed. But in my head, I was only coming up with squaw because we were talking about like indigenous people. And I was like, that's not correct.
Yeah.
Swaddle. When we get back from the break, I went out to NWA Hard Times 5. Sally, I'm going to talk to you what it was like, not just behind the scenes, but in front of the scenes. and tell you just how tremendous of a job NWA did at turning a TV product into a live event. You're listening to Going Over on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to Going Over. I, of course, am Fred Slow. Alongside me is Saleh Taylor. And if you're joining us on the live stream, time of recording, it's like 10 p.m. Friday night, March the 28th. This will air terrestrially Saturday morning, March the 29th. I hope your bracket's doing well. Mine is doing incredibly well. I will probably win both of my groups. This will be the second year in a row where I've done this. I really don't know if I'm good at brackets, Saleh, but I'm good at picking against guys who think the Lobos are going to go far.
You know, yeah.
I ran into Richard Patino today. Did I tell you this?
Oh,
so
how was that?
Oh, it was awkward. So you know how I was on the radio all week. So
Yeah.
So, and by the way, I've only heard the kindest things. Like, I'm plugged in to the individuals that support the university and its athletics, and I'm so very fortunate to hold court with they almost on demand. Like if I text people who make decisions, they get back to me, and I'm fortunate in every way. And they all said he was forthcoming, he was honest, he was transparent, he did not hold back. I do know, some things that aren't as public as some other people, obviously, but I'm going to tell you this. They said he was stand up the whole time. And I'm into it. I'm into that thought. I'm into that level of communication. But I am today over at the Coffee and Cheese. And I was I was meeting with the Rotary. I was doing some Rotary stuff with my day job.
Cool.
So I'm getting ready to check out. And he walks in right there. And, he's not a big guy. He's a little guy. He's a little guy. He walks over and I know he knows who I am. Like he's done my show. Like we've met dozens of times.
Yeah.
Walks right past me.
He no-sold you. He no-sold you.
He walked into that diner like Jake Paul. Like Logan Paul. Like no one was going to stop him. Okay. I'm with the person I'm with from Rotary. I'm like, hey, that was wild. And they go, I don't know who that is. I go, I know you shouldn't. Like, heads up. He's got $4 million. Like, just got it the other day from Cincinnati. From the live chat, friend of the show, Chelsea. Fred, you did a good job in the main event. Fred needs to do it more. Just saying, here's the thing now. Now. Chelsea's aware. Chelsea works with us, Chelsea Dotson. The start to our last show was as chaotic as anything that has ever happened due to powers that be. And we will, when we can publicly talk about that, we will talk about that at length.
Can we say politics?
Politicking,
Politics
for sure.
And procedure.
For sure. And similar to the way I compete in these NCAA brackets, that's how I compete in this world too. So we're going to see exactly where this all goes.
Without any rhyme or reason. That's how he does it.
With blatant disregard for my own safety. So
and against the people who are rooting for the home.
If you're an individual that I don't give a snuff about, like, and no offense to these people because they know who they are, and they say, hey, I'm excited, or hey, something negative. Here's the problem. I don't give a snuff. Like, you don't even get the idea of a reservation to have real estate in my mind. But the man, dog, my entire life is fighting with the man. I hate the man. Like I hate aspects. I hate the arm of the man. I hate the police. I hate judges. I hate lawyers. I hate elected officials. I hate bureaucrats and Democrats and Republicans. And I hate every single person that at all tries to mandate how I can exist. So here we are. Pro wrestling. Oh, I'm so fired up. But that'll be a show for another day. Isn't my first name Man from the live chat? No, that's not fair. I don't hate Man Fred.
Just Fred.
Yeah, just Fred.
Or just undershoot him. Manfred.
Yeah. I went out to Dothan, Alabama. NWA, Hard Times 5. Dothan is kind of a cool story. I think a lot of people know the NWA is owned by Billy Corgan. Billy Corgan is my business partner in pro wrestling, and we are using the NWA moniker for Duke City Championship Wrestling. So it's NWA New Mexico, right? And that affords us opportunity to learn from individuals who are incredibly established in this game. So we go out there, and what the NWA does, Solly, is they create a TV product, and that TV product's filmed in a studio. A couple hundred people go in there, and they celebrate. You know, they go for the bumps, they do the whole thing, but it's a TV production. They took that TV production in front of a live audience in Dothan, and you're like, Fred, why Dothan? I'll get there in a second. And there had to be, there's a lot of people there, 1,000 people. I mean, there's a lot of people there. So they go out and they turn this TV show into a live event. And brother, it was like watching what we do, but backwards. Because like we're a live event that becomes a TV show. And like an artist using their left hand. It was incredible. It was incredible to take. I was a fly on the wall of production meetings. I was a fly on the wall of talent meetings. I was a fly on the wall of really talented people creating like an incredible product and doing it in the town of Dothan, Alabama. And you're like, Fred, where is Dothan? Dothan has a rich history with Billy Corgan and the Smashing Pumpkins dating back to the 90s, and the loyalty that human being shows to that city and that community by returning still today, you know, bringing entertainment. And isn't that what pro wrestling is? Isn't that what entertainment is? Isn't that what life is? Strong interpersonal relationships.
Giving back.
It was awesome, Solly.
That makes sense. That tracks. That is really, really, really cool. Did you spend like a full weekend there, or were you there the day of?
Yeah, I got in there Friday, which was kind of crazy. So it was like a flight into Atlanta. That makes sense. Biggest airport in the country, you know. And then it was a flight to Dothan. By the way, there's only one a day. And then I'm flying in, and like, I don't know if you follow politics at all, but planes, not the safest thing this year. So I'm flying in, and I'm like, I'm cooked. I'm surrounded by only grass and trees. Like this plane is getting too close to the ground. Father, our Lord, thy in heaven. Like I was cooked, brother. This airport just popped up out of a cornfield. Like it was like, you know, ever watch like a movie with like a heavy blue orange filter and they're in the desert and you just see like mirage like on the horizon? That's what this runway looked like. Mirage. And then it goes and then just instant brakes on the ground, because that runway this is not Fast and the Furious, you know. There's no runway after this plane touches the ground. And then it does like I didn't know planes had reverse. I thought they all had to be backed up by little like cars, because that's what I've seen at traditional size airports. Nope. So this plane does like a 3-point turnaround, like a perfectly executed one. And then we end up at the airport. In the airport, like, if I ask you, if I'm like, hey, Saleh, describe what an airport is. Like, go ahead and do it right now. Like, describe what an airport is, Saleh.
You got a runway that goes into gates that get you out.
Yeah.
Towards,
Yeah. That sounds, I mean, that's simple. You might say there's a coffee shop. You might say,
if you're lucky,
you might say there's a baggage claim. You might say there's amenities.
Electricity.
This airport, brother, like it was a muni building, but it was like an old post office. Like it was, there's no gate. They just, they wheeled up the stairs that like the janitor would use in high school to adjust the basketball rim in the gymnasium. Like, and I'm a big boy, you know what I mean? And like, and the plane itself, it was like one side had one seat and the other side had two seats. So the aisle wasn't even down the middle of the plane. They like offset the aisle so you could fit 3 people, 2 on one side, 1 on the other, because that's how small this plane was.
And then a lot of luggage on that side from one chair. Oh my gosh!
You couldn't even check your luggage. I mean, hold on, I just said that backwards. You couldn't even carry on your luggage. Like it all had to. You just had to hand it. And they were like, "Hey, do you really need that backpack?" I was like, "No." I was like, "Let me grab my AirPods." I don't, and there's no Wi-Fi, there's no
No.
USB thing. There's no, hey, but luckily the flight's like 45 minutes.
Hey, I'll
But
take
straight
it.
up, straight down. So I get out in Dothan. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go rent a car. Right. I'm gonna get a car. Like that's part of my thing is I need to drive.
Hmm.
Well, I'm an idiot. I could have walked to the hotel. Like it was. I would have had to dodge some like children coming from that corn that I mentioned earlier, but I could have walked there. And I go to the counter to get the card. This is not a wrestling story at all. This is just like a travel. Hey, this is like when your favorite comedian or rapper makes it big, and all their stories and rap lyrics are now about it, like how bad it is to fly coach. Like that's what this story is. I'm giving you.
It's called First World Problems.
100%. Like, what's that, Fred? Your champagne wasn't the right temperature. Oh.
I'm sorry. Your champagne was Corbel. I'm so sorry.
Poor guy. Grue, more like gross.
Oh, sorry. That brute was brutal. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
You didn't like your space bag? Oh, that's what it was like. So I go to the car counter and I'm like, there's no line. You know what I mean? Like everyone showed up for this one arriving plane 30 minutes before we got there, and everyone leaves, right? There's no full-time employees at this place. So I walk up to the counter, say, hi, my name is Fred Slow, and I believe I have a car reserved. And she goes, oh, you absolutely do. I've been waiting for you. I go, what? She goes, like, you've been waiting for me? Like,
you're the business today, baby. It's all you.
Does my fame precede me? She goes, no, you're just the only reservation we got, brother. I go, okay. I'm like, any chance I could upgrade to a, moderate mid-size, whatever? And she's like, we don't really have extra cars. I was like, okay. I got
that. Like a one Ponytown to one.
Oh gosh. There was one message in that town, and that message was how okay it was to have Confederate flag license plates on the front of your cars. That was one message I got from the deep south of southern Alabama.
That tracks.
It was wild. It was super wild.
How was the people? How was the show?
So nice, so good. And the crowd loved it. It was, and the NWA's got a different level of talent. I would say, I'm going to give an opinion here. This is an opinion.
Yeah.
NWA New Mexico Duke City Championship Wrestling, some of the best characters in the business. NWA, some of the best wrestlers in the business.
Okay.
And there's a perfect combination of those two things. I don't know what it is. I'm not there yet. I'm going to learn. I'm going to get everyone there. But what we bring as a professional wrestling organization, what they bring, again, left hand versus right hand. You got to have both, but this is some of the best pro wrestling I'd ever seen in person, and it's not like, what's a good way to say this about the indies without sounding bad? Let's say a guy's normally we don't talk a lot of numbers on the show, but let's say a guy's normally a $500 talent. You know what I mean? Normally. Well, he comes out to a show for $100. You're just going to get $100 effort. You're not going to get a $500 effort. You're not going to get, let's say you double your salary. You're not going to get $1,000 effort. You're going to get $100 effort. And I don't know what the NWA talent guys make, and I don't know, but I'm going to tell you this. They all were working like they were getting double on the effort. And it was awesome. And the crowd responded to it. And the characters that maybe leaned a little liberal, they heard about it. And the characters that maybe leaned a little GOP, they were celebrated for it. And the characters whose sexual orientation was in question, they heard about it. And the characters who were as masculine and as dominant as humanly possible, they were, you know what I mean? Like this city, this crowd, and the NWA knew exactly what they were doing. And they put on Shakespeare, brother. Like as good as anything I've ever seen in person. I sat in the crowd. I wasn't working the back during the show. I was in the crowd. And it was awesome.
Was that by choice? Because you're like, the show's running, you don't need me, so like I'm gonna just go in and just take this in.
Yeah, that was conversation before. So I mean, all my contributions were all pre-production stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm not a character. I'm not written into the show. And I'm not going to agent or anything in the back. So it was, I was out there, but it was like crazy stuff. Where I'll give you an example. Also, like a beer there was like $4, which was sweet.
Oh, man.
They had the food special, right? And the food special was double cheeseburger with bacon, with potato chips smashed on it, instead of a bun, 2 honey buns. Oh, brother, it was like $12, and people were just taking it in. And I'm like, is diabetes not real here? Like, what is everyone doing? Do not eat this.
We leave that outside the door, sir. We check our egos and health history at the door. Talking about being present.
I believe Hard Times 5 airs in June. You will see it then. A huge swerve at the end. If you're not a fan of that product, Jack, take the time. It's currently viewable on X. So you can go over there and check that out. That is the spot for they. But obviously YouTube and all the other outlets as well. It's super good. We wrap up the program whenever we get back. Saleh, you're listening to Going Over on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to Going Over. I am Fred Slow. Alongside me is Saleh Taylor, talking the world of pro wrestling. We are in the best time of the year for the world of pro wrestling. That's the road to WrestleMania for the WWE. It's the best time for pro wrestling in New Mexico as well. Several big shows recently. The Juggalos came to town. They did really well. We had a banger of a show 2 weeks ago. Phase 1 Pro Wrestling's about to put on a show. We have another show before that, and then AEW is coming to town. Our big anniversary show is May the 10th, Birthday Bash 2. Tickets available at dccwtickets.com. AEW is coming to town the 21st, aewtix.com. Use promo code Lemons, get your opportunity there and support Manny Lemons, Duke City Championship Wrestling performer. And then the summer rolls on, including State Fair, including WWE, including NWA. Just a tremendous time for pro wrestling. Sully, you have been tuned in to the road to WrestleMania. Vegas is right around the corner. I got all my stuff from ESPN, from WWE just the other day. I'm set up for success in the world of attending and taking in the spectacle that is WrestleMania. How are you forecasting for the big event? Are you staying here hosting the Duke City Championship Wrestling watch party over at Uptown Sports Bar, or are you going to Las Vegas, Nevada for WrestleMania action?
I'm going to be wherever I'm needed. Actually, that's the plan. And I have people that are talking to other people, and so far it's been a one-sided conversation, but but it's all good. I'm going to be where I'm needed. If I am going to be in town, I wouldn't mind being at the watch party at Uptown Bar and leading that, or just being part of that, or I'll just be at home barbecuing a lot of meat as we get to watch a lot of man meat and actually people meat, just slapping each other around.
Yeah, the watch party I think is going to be fun because those spectacle ones are better done with a crowd. They're better done with individuals who know the sport, know the product, know the game. That's very true. Being at a WrestleMania in person is very much a different deal. It is a Super Bowl. It is a World Series. I've never been to a Final Four or a national championship basketball game. I think that would be really great. I need to do that at some point. But it's as cool as anything that you can do.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, and I think this is true for like all aspects of entertainment, it's just priced out now.
Oh, man.
All of it. There are record-setting prices on these tickets. Meet and greets are hundreds and hundreds of dollars. The Super Bowl this year, I went to that as well, It was the most expensive one ever. They all will be that moving forward.
Yeah.
Same thing with WWE. WrestleMania next year is in New Orleans. Then they're going to New Orleans because they just saw what Super Bowl did.
Yeah.
And the last time they were there, they put on a show. WrestleMania 30. Well, there was one after that, right? No, 30.
30.
30. That's the Brock Lesnar one, beating the Undertaker.
That was also the Daniel Bryan.
Triple threat.
Yeah.
That's as good. That was the resurgence of this era.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
That 11 years ago? Am I doing that math right? No, 15. Oh my God, dude, time flies.
We're getting old, man.
A lot of years ago. A lot of years ago.
Where were you?
And then you hear these stories, right? Like I was out doing NWA stuff, and I'm old heads, Trevor Murdoch, like old heads.
That's awesome, man.
We're just cutting it up, and we're both from St. Louis, Missouri. We're telling stories of Harley Race. We're telling stories of wrestling at the Chase. We're telling stories of Roddy Piper. We're telling stories, stuff whenever we were growing up, because every single person has that nostalgia for it.
Yes.
Who has nostalgia for it? I mean, you can't just make something up, but you get the idea. And that's what WrestleMania is. It's just a huge nostalgia fest. That's what that AEW stuff is. Like AEW is like an interesting one because it's got a billionaire owner. Tony Khan has billions of dollars.
His father has billions of dollars.
But yeah, that's a good point. And he chooses to, he's not doing anything avant-garde. He's not doing anything mind-blowing or revigorating or reimagining the industry. His set, his dudes, his storylines look just like WCW of the late 90s and early 2000s. Like he's capturing nostalgia. And I don't know if everyone looks at it that way, but that's how I see it.
I'm grateful that you're bringing that up because that's what the narrative has been, and he's been leaning in on the whole like our numbers compared to the WCW numbers are better than. I'm like, stop. That's not the thing you want to be measuring yourself to.
I don't know enough about numbers to know what matters anymore. I don't think ratings matter. It's a different deal now, right? Like,
yeah.
Hey, you can get ratings off USA for SmackDown. That's awesome. You don't get ratings off Netflix. They don't get ratings. That's not a thing.
And you can't really believe the numbers because if it's a streaming, this is what the new media rules are. If it's something being released to stream before network or in theater, they can keep the numbers.
Yeah.
And they can report whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
And so.
And we're talking only about streaming. Like, are we talking about clips? We talking about website? We talking about, because then you end up in a whole nother deal.
Yeah.
AEW, for instance, the TNT thing. You don't want TNT to be your sole access point for your product. You want it to be on, and then we start running them all, right? Where it's TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Rumble,
Grindr. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Signal.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
A clip was shared to me.
Yeah. But all those things line up in a way to where, okay, now we're counting totals. You're not just opening up the Nielsen or whatever is the deal and saying this is the number. You're like doing math. And then the number within an hour is more important. Twitch is a big one. The number is more important in the first hour. Then the number is more important in the first 12 hours. And the number is more important in the first 24 hours. And they're all weighted differently. And then you sell that to Procter & Gamble or whoever. I don't know who a big title sponsor is of anything anymore. WWE puts it on the mat. I don't even see it anymore. Like like my eyes have trained themselves. They put that Prime logo on there. So everyone's like, this sucks. I don't even see it anymore.
Yeah.
It's what's that thing when you drive and you don't like notice the rearview mirror in front of you?
Or you don't notice that you've gone through all those traffic lights. Like, were they all green?
Yeah. How did I get here?
Yeah. Yeah. Autopilot. Just, if they're doing as good a job as they could be or should be, you shouldn't notice the other things unless it's part of the match. It's part of the story. Then Logan Paul will have a spot where he's throwing Prime on someone, he brings attention to it. Or in between matches, if you have the premium subscriptions where you get to watch brought to you by Prime this, and then show the promo package.
Oh, is that a thing? I pay for the expensive one. I don't see any of that stuff.
I do too. I love it.
The Peacock one, they do a good job of like giving me other stuff too. And I'm never like thirsty for pro wrestling like content because there's so much of it all the time and it's all wildly good now. We just upgraded everything to 4K. 4K? We're an indie. Like what?
You know what's crazy about that? I didn't realize I've already upgraded things to 4K, but all I had to do was
Just
get a pair of these.
yeah.
I didn't realize I have a good TV. I was getting ready to buy another TV, man. TV's good as is.
It's an RCA, which you thought was like really crappy antenna.
Yeah, man.
No, it's a good TV.
I'm all smack at the side of my TV the whole time.
Hey, I have like very limited brand loyalty. I have brand loyalty to RCA. RCA has always done me so good in the TV game. My current TV is fire, and I never watch TV.
Oh, I'm a Samsung guy.
Are you?
Yeah.
That's pretty Japanese of you.
That's Korean, baby.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah.
The one, you know what else?
Korean stepmom.
This one's got me too. The Apple products.
Yeah.
All of my stuff is just always connected.
Yes.
I bought an Apple adapter for my truck so that I didn't have to plug in my CarPlay. Like addicted.
The Magic Box? I got one coming.
Hey, because the effort it took to plug the deal into the deal, that was too significant to me.
Yes. Yeah.
Champagne problems. That's where we start. That's where
first world problems.
A little program today. It is a ton of sports. Opening day just passed. Major League Baseball is back. Spring is here. There's a ton going on. Get outside, touch grass, feel sunshine. Take your family, tell your friends. Pro wrestling is happy and healthy here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I promise I will fight with anyone who tries to screw that up for you, listeners of this show. It is so very important. Sully, give us your final words before we wrap this one up.
That clown, man. Clown. I tasted what could be, what could have been, but I got to focus up better. And hey, man,
honk honk.
We've only just begun.
Chapters in a story. That's the world of pro wrestling. Chewy Martinez said that to me one time. He said, "I don't tell stories. I tell chapters." I said, "And same."
Brilliant.
I don't steal content. I accredit it. Chewy Martinez.
Good form.
For Sally Taylor. For myself, Fred Slow. For everyone that took the time with us today and this morning. Good job, everyone. Keep breathing.